Welcome back to another video. It is Wednesday, it is week 1 of my block, and it is also episode 1 of my Road to Commonwealth series. So I'm not going to chat too much, I need to get going so I can get to my parents in good time to train, but I am very excited for this block. I've got some big goals for the last week of the block. It is 3 4-week blocks until I compete. After this block, my days are going to shuffle around a little bit, so that will be... Basically, I've got like 1 week where everything's kind of condensed to make my days line up, but that's not a problem. I think it's just like one accessory day that just has to kind of almost be skipped and just move my days forwards a little bit. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into this. So I'm going to stop talking and going to head to my parents to train.
Really been going back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Like the neighborhood warriors. I don't miss, I don't play none. I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I eat steak with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks. Tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good. Tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops. Drop a lot and she pack the bags. She shot till we drop. I just wake up, I don't say nothing. I'm on go, I don't stay long. I've been up now, that's a case wine. I've been down too, like this day strong. I got summer toys for the summer boy. I keep drummer boys in the summer boy. I keep making noise, I've been paranoid. This is God body, you can never void. I don't miss, I don't play none. I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I eat steak with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks. Tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good. Tell my kids.
Okay, so squats are done. I'm not gonna lie, I've just taken a like 20-minute break in the middle of my session after squats. Just hanging out with my mum. I was also hungry, so I had an apple. That's irrelevant. Squats felt amazing. So I have changed my shoe to the Avancus. Well, today's the first day. I mean, they literally arrived yesterday. So today's the first day I've tried them on. Today is the first day I've used them for anything. They are the, I think it's V2, so the more recent release. So the reason I want to get these is because they are a wider shoe than the Vivo. So I've got the Motus Strength in the Vivo, which I actually forgot to bring with me, so I can't do like a side-by-side comparison. But I have very, like, the tops of my foot, like this part is quite not narrow, the opposite of narrow, is quite wide on my foot. And I didn't even realise this was a thing. Like, I know it's a thing with my feet, but I didn't realise it was something I've had to like shop around before. Like, I've never really noticed it. But when I was telling my mum that my Vivos were really tight on the top part of my foot, she was saying that when I was a kid, actually, we had to be quite careful of what shoes we bought because that part, like, never fit. And we had to get really, like, wide set shoes for my feet. And as an adult, I think I've just not really noticed. I live in, like, I don't know, trainers, I don't know. Anyway, irrelevant. Basically, the Vivos weren't comfortable as a shoe. They feel fantastic to squat in. They feel great. Well, I haven't actually worn them for deadlifts, but I know they'll feel good for deadlifts. Like, they feel very barefoot, flat to the floor, very thin sole. They feel fantastic as a lifting shoe. They're just not a comfortable shoe for my feet. So I thought, well, I will try these because I managed to find a pair in stock in my size. I got a 40, which equates to a 6.5 UK size, which is pretty much perfect for me. I vary between a 6 and a 7 depending on the shoe. So I got these basically because they're supposed to be more of a wide set shoe all over, and they fit so comfortably. So they're not tight for me at all on the tops of my foot. They fit perfectly, like literally my toes end just before the end. Did the little wriggle test that you do when you're a kid. My mum was like, I got my mum to check if they were the right size because I am still a child at heart. But basically, I thought I would give these a go because they are supposed to be a wider shoe overall, and I want to be comfortable when I'm training, and if your shoes are too tight, they're not going to last either. I am going to keep my Vivos because, well, I'm going to trial squatting in these for the full block and see how I get on. But they didn't really feel any different to my Vivos, apart from the fact they were just a more comfortable shoe. They're a wider shoe. That's like the only real difference. But actually for feeling grounded and that side of things, they felt pretty much the same, maybe slightly better. So I'm going to keep with these for squats this block. I'm going to keep my Vivos anyway because they feel quite good for my leg day. Like, they are a very good leg day shoe. And if you have quite narrow feet, I'd imagine they're probably quite comfortable. But they're just so, I find anyway, they're so tight here, but then they're quite wide here, which for me just isn't, I don't need that. Like, I need looser here and then just like normal here, if that makes sense. So anyway, first review of the Avancus for squats is fantastic. I'm not going to probably wear them to deadlifting at home because I never deadlift in shoes at home. I just deadlifting my socks, and I'm not going to wear them to bench purely because I want to keep the grip as strong as possible for as long as possible. So I'm still going to wear these wet shoes that I normally bench in for bench when I'm benching at home, but next time I go to powering through, which will be for my end of block squats and bench in 4 weeks time, I will probably just take this shoe with me and see how they feel on the carpet. My Vivos grip-wise do feel good on carpet, but I know for a fact, it's annoying that I can't show you, but basically the bottom of the Vivos, they've got like tiny little knobbly bits on the bottom for the grip, and they wear away quite quickly, or at least on my old pair they did, and I can imagine they're going to do the same on this new pair because they've already started to wear away a little bit, and I haven't had them for long. I literally switched them at the start of my last block, so I've had them for 5 weeks, and they do still have very good grip, don't get me wrong. I used them at powering through the other day on the carpet, like they felt fantastic, but I don't know how long they're going to feel good for, where because I have such like high leg drive when I bench, I need to have good grip. So I'm hoping that these feel better, but that's something we'll see at a later date. But basically, there's not tons of difference, and if you have narrow feet, just go for whichever ones you prefer. Like, these are an ugly shoe, like, I'm sorry. They are not a pretty looking shoe, and when I have them on, they just look quite funny, like they don't look nice. Not that the Vivos are particularly stylish, but they definitely look more aesthetic than these ones do. But comfort-wise, these feel so much comfier, and to be honest, they feel like they're going to last longer as well. It could just be because they're obviously not as tight, so they're not being stretched or anything on my feet, but they just feel more sturdy, and it feels more like a trainer. So yeah, basically, so far, very happy with these. Also very happy with how squats went. They were just super light and comfortable today. The plans for squats this block are a little bit crazy when I think of them, so I'm just trying to take it 1 week at a time. But yeah, no, everything felt good. Gonna now bench.
I got a itch in my palm. My girl, she know she the one. I put the ice on her hand. I put some ice on her arm. See me shining in the light. Know you found me in the dark. Talking how you wanna leave. Girl, you made it this far. Taking trips overseas. No, I won't be long. We came up from the weeds. Now it's top floor. All these big gets on her wrist. VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. There for my first cake, then we hit on a cake. $500,000 on the way, then $1 million on the way. Eating good full place, eating good say grace. Eat her up, get thanks, she got cake birthday. I can't waste no way, I can't waste no play. My girl, whoa, whoa, something like the baddest chick. My girl, whoa, whoa, came up from the rags to rich. Hit the road running, I had to tell her I had to get it. She understood, but she spoiled, so when she get mad, she dip. All these big gets on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all.
Okay, so session is very nearly done. I've literally just got B stance RDLs left. I have to admit, for a few weeks now on this Wednesday session, I've really flagged by the time it's got to deadlifts, and I've just not really wanted to do them. Like, even tonight it was super light, comfortable fours at 147, but I had to really psych myself up to do them. I think part of the reason is because normally, like, my first warm-up, I really notice my elbow being tender still. I think it probably is tendonitis or something similar in there, which is the problem, and obviously it's not gone away because I haven't been able to, like, rest it properly or anything. But to be honest, I'm basically just gonna work through it and ignore it as long as it doesn't get significantly worse between now and the British, and then I'll possibly, like, deal with it then, is basically the plan, because I don't want to change the structure, especially with squats and how they're going. I think it's mostly my low bar squats that are irritating it. Sinking bench is definitely putting less pressure on it, so that's good, and hopefully it'll help improve it. Like, going into today's session, it felt the best it ever has, but just when I started squatting, I noticed it again, so we'll see. But yeah, deadlift moved fine though. It's just they feel a bit uncomfortable with my elbow, like, I think just because obviously my arms are forced so straight, and that's the side that I twist as well. Very out of breath, I've literally just cleared up after deadlifting. So yeah, it's fine though. Deadlift moved really well. Bench was great today actually. That is by far the most consistent my sinking has felt. There were a few sets that I filmed just on my phone that I won't probably put in the video just because the quality will be a lot worse, that I definitely found I didn't get the line quite right. But all of my ramp up sets that I did up to my top singles, all of my top singles, and then I think 2 of my 4 back off sets felt incredibly consistent rep to rep. So I'm definitely feeling confident about it. Yeah, the ramp up sets definitely helped as well with just making sure that I was kind of consistent before I even got to my top singles. So I think having that extra volume in there, even though it's not tons of volume, it's never going to be totally heavy, especially on the ramp up sets, it's definitely a good move. I'm very excited. I need to get in as much skill practice as I can possibly recover from between now and like the block into comp, and then the block into comp I'll worry about the fatigue side of things, is kind of how I'm thinking. I'll still obviously be sensible and I won't just go crazy, but it's just skill practice and drilling in the movement at this point. But I'm confident that I could basically bench 110 comfortably with a decent pause, sinking style, pretty much any day. So my comp max is 107.5 at the moment still. Obviously I would like to hit way above that at Commonwealth, but as long as I get comp PBs, I don't really care. Like, it is what it is at this point. It's a new skill. And yeah, just going to see what happens with it. I'm trying to not put any pressure on it, I guess, but it's definitely feeling a lot more consistent now that I'm trying to, like, I don't want to say flare because I'm definitely not flaring, but now that I'm finding a good balance between flaring and tucking rather than just over tucking when I get scared that it gets a bit heavier and stuff. So yeah, basically very excited. I just need to keep my reps consistent, but sinking felt very good tonight. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's a very kind of, you know, simple week 1 first session into the new block. It's a bit crazy when I think about how heavy I've started my new block. Like, I'm pacing myself for some big numbers, but everything moved as it should for week 1. So especially considering I had an extra week to the last block, so fatigue is actually a little bit higher than it normally would be for my week 1s as well. Everything felt great, everything moved really well, so I am happy. I didn't talc my legs for deadlift, which was a mistake because the bar was getting caught on my quads, but then I was also in a way like kind of proud that the bar was getting caught on my quads, because it's only really been the last year that I've actually noticed the benefit of talc on my legs. Like, my legs just took so long to develop because my legs are just naturally, they don't really hold a lot of fat. And like, before I ever lifted, I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll put it in, like, my legs were tiny, and when I, like, in COVID and stuff, when I didn't train, when I was injured and things, my legs were the first things to just shrink back down. So it's kind of nice for me to realise that my legs have actually developed and grown, and the bar is getting caught on them, even though I don't obviously want the bar to get caught because it will make my deadlift harder. But with talc, it's always fine. And it is quite muggy today, so my skin is just generally like a bit gross, but like a bit stickier, I guess. But it's fine. Anyway, really happy with how that session went. I don't think I've got anything else to say in this video. I am currently in 2 minds. I know I mentioned a few videos ago, like literally after comp, that I wanted to try and maintain like 84 kilos going into Commonwealth. But now I'm kind of thinking I've settled around 86 again. I think I might do a gut cut into comp, because also with food availability and things, I can just pack what I need to eat for a gut cut. But we'll see. I might do a trial one, maybe. Like, I don't want to do it for the final week of a block, because I want to make sure that nothing gets in my head about performance or anything. Even that's kind of counterproductive, because obviously if it does affect my performance, I'll want to know before comp. But I know for comp it won't, because I'll have a different mentality going in. But I might do it for like week 1 of my next block or something. I don't know. I need to decide and do like a trial run if I do want to do that. But to be honest, I think like my diet has been pretty much consistent, but there's been like even today, Wednesdays have kind of become like a cake day. Not by my choice, but I mean, I'm not complaining. But literally every Wednesday it seems like either my mum or my sister buy cake for when we're all here. So this week my mum got some cake in for us. So I had my pre-workout cake with her. But just little things like that I don't need to be having. I'm now going to get back to saying no to, and then we'll kind of see where my weight settles, especially because my steps and stuff. I mean, when I've been ill, my steps have gone down again, like the last maybe 4 or 5 days. Well, probably more than that, the last week actually. My steps haven't been as high as they were. Like, they weren't quite at like the 8,000 to 10,000 range. They were more like 5,000. But that was purely just from a recovery standpoint. Like, my body and I have just been exhausted. So I am now getting back on that as well. So we'll see where my weight sits, and then I'll make a decision. But I mean, I can make weight from wherever I am, it's fine. There's no stress for me making weight anymore, because I obviously have the knowledge to sort of like to get myself where I need to be. I'd imagine the hotels probably have saunas and stuff as well, and when I get there it's going to be very hot, so I'll probably just shed weight anyway, and that and stress, so we'll just see. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to mention. So don't quite know the plan for body weight yet, but we'll just see. We'll see what happens. I'm just not going to stress over it basically, and I know it'll be an easy cut wherever I am. But yeah, I'm very excited for this block. I'm not going to talk about what my goals are for the final week of the block because I don't want to jinx anything, but it's going to be exciting, at least for me, probably not necessary to watch. But I'm going to wrap the video up here. I've definitely talked enough and I need to get home. So if you have made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. I genuinely really, really appreciate it. If there's anything you want to see more of in this series, please let me know and I'll be sure to include what I can. Yeah, and I'll be uploading twice a week. The plan, at least to start, is still going to be Mondays and Fridays for the most part. Obviously, sometimes they're a little bit off, but for the most part, it'll be Mondays and Fridays. But when my training days move, I might have to change that around because I think my training days are going to be Mondays and Thursdays, I think. So it will be harder to get my videos out on time. So, but it'll be 2 uploads a week is the plan. So yes, thank you if you've made it this far. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you on Monday for the next video.
These big gets on the wrist, VVS is on the neck. Make it spin and don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on a let it spend.